Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you again. This time we're going to go over to abcnews.go.com, and it says text from McDonald's CEO appears to blame parents of Jaslyn Adams and Adam Title for their deaths. I do apologize in advance for any names that I mispronounce, but y'all know how that is. And the quote says, the parents failed those kids, the McDonald's chief executive wrote. And the article is by Kathleen Thorbecke. Article starts off by saying, protests erupt at McDonald's headquarters in Chicago this week after a text message exchange between the fast food giant's chief executive and Mayor Lori Lightfoot seems to blame the parents of the two children who were recently shot to death in the city. Man, Lightfoot had visited McDonald's headquarters and met with CEO Chris Kemp. I'm going to just say that for short. Don't want to butcher the name. In April, the day after the fatal shooting of 7-year-old Jaslyn Adams, who died in the hail of bullets fired into her family's car that was in a McDonald's drive-thru lane. The child's death came as the city was still mourning the outrage over the fatal shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo by police officers. In a text message exchange recently made public, Kemp wrote to Lightfoot, with both the parents failed those kids, which I know is something you can't say. Even harder to fix, according to ABC Chicago station WLS-TV. The comment sparked immediate backlash and accusations of racism and victim blaming, which it should, as it should. Images shared on social media by the labor advocacy group Fight for 15 Chicago, which helped organize a protest on Wednesday, shows crowds of protesters descending onto McDonald's headquarters. Many of those marching were children. As the leader of the largest fast food corporation, Mr. Kemp has a responsibility to do much better for the black and brown communities than add on to racist stereotypes. Fight for 15 Chicago said in the tweet, and this is the actual tweet of the children out there protesting. You can also go over there and check that out, Fight for 15, and I am going to attempt to play a little snippet of it. Better yet, I'll link the video in the description just to be on the safe side. Y'all know how that go. Okay? And this is the pictures of the protests in remembrance of the two children that were killed. Okay? Kemp acknowledged the text exchange in a note sent to McDonald's U.S. corporate employees, which was viewed by ABC News. In the text message exchange, I thanked Mayor Lightfoot for the visit and reflected on our conversation about the recent tragedies, commenting that the parents failed those kids. The CEO wrote, when I wrote this, I was thinking my thoughts, my lens as a parent and recently, but I had not walked in the shoes of Adams or Jaslyn's family and so many others who are facing a very difficult reality, Kemp added. Not taking time to think about this from the viewpoint was wrong and lacked the empathy and compassion I feel for those families. This is a lesson that I will carry with me. Kemp lamented the seamless surge in gun violence that is affecting so many children, adding that it is also clear to me that everyone has to play a role. Quite simply, it is on all of us to do better for the children of our communities, the CEO stated. saying he was committed to working with civil leaders and elected officials to understand what that means for McDonald's. Lightfoot did not immediately respond to comment for requests on Thursday, but a spokesperson for the mayor told WLS TV, victim shaming has no place in this conversation. I'm gonna have to say no, Miss Lightfoot. I don't know the details of it, but I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna start with the CEO of McDonald's. This gentleman is definitely outtouched. A quote that I would use for this is, people tend to not think that other people's problems is a problem because it's not their problem. Does that make sense? Do you understand that? I mean, compassion is free, empathy is free. The sheer taking of a life of a child or any person unjustly, I would think that would inspire some sympathy or empathy, some compassion. Doesn't mean you have to directly know the person, people and persons involved. Doesn't mean that you have to know them on a personal level. However, I believe it's very important for people to put out the same energy that they expect back. And obviously, this man lives in a bubble. For him to say that, I truly do hope that there is some disciplinary action that is going to be taken to him, whether that be firing or demoting. Clearly, that is not the vision or the message that McDonald's is trying to betray. He was put in the position that he was because, he represents the face, he represents the brand, he represents the business. So it is always a good practice, if you are at the helm of something as large as a corporation, any corporation, you should exercise that for people that don't have the same lifestyle as you, don't have the same beliefs, life, religion, orientation, whatever. Insert your favorite topic. And it's a reflection on the corporation as a whole, which it is a corporation, and we know corporations, it's about the dollar. Now, I will say this: McDonald's has always strived to bring some sort of community feel in the locations all around the United States and around the world. I have seen this done growing up as a child. I'm not really sure if they do it pretty much now, but growing up, they used to have like little community things and things of that nature and stuff. I don't think this is going to be like all the rest of the companies that got caught saying the wrong thing, like Starbucks or any of the other corporations. We're just going to take a day for sensitivity training. It needs to be a whole revamp of, the standards, and let that be a firm principle to the employees, whether they be a hourly wage or salary, that gets a salary. Regardless of the fact, all of them should strive to live by the standard of the vision of what they want that corporation to be. Insert favorite corporation. As for Mayor Lightfoot, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not going to say that she's guilty in any capacity. However, I will make this statement and say that as a mayor, as a woman, you made history. And this is my whole thing. You made history for Chicago for several different reasons when you were elected, and you too should be held to a higher standard. Um, I believe because you are mayor of Chicago, it is no secret that your city and many other cities are facing a surge of violent crimes and gun shootings right now. And for you to have that conversation with this man that is so out of touch, I don't know, maybe it could have been politeness, maybe it could have been working out a bigger deal to bring resources into Chicago. I don't know, I can only assume. Nothing I'm saying is fact or factual. I am assuming this. Um, it's kind of disappointing because of the simple fact I would have thought that she would have checked that man. No child deserves to die. I would love to see her responses or the text messages themselves. I searched for it briefly, but I wasn't able to come up with anything on my end. And I said I searched for it briefly. I didn't do a full search, so that may be a little bit on me. However, as mayor of Chicago, I would feel that you would have been somewhat taken aback by that comment, somewhat disappointed as I am in you, because you should have checked his motherfucking ass. Period. Okay? You should have checked his goddamn ass. Point blank, period. Okay? I mean, if you're not fighting for Chicago, what you there for? Again, this is only my assumption. This is not fact. This is opinion. You know? Why half-ass it, homegirl? But with that being said, I think this video done dragged on a little too long. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. As always, I definitely want you guys to drop down and give me your feedback about this story or any other story that I may post. And with that, you guys, I'm going to say I'll holler at you in the next video.